He notices nuances in you that no one else sees. The moment your breathing shifts, he already knows the day was heavier than you admit. He recognizes the tension held in your shoulders, identifies the way your hands seek support in small things, and before any words exist, he approaches, ready to silently lift the weight the world has left on you. Sometimes, the way you place your feet on the floor reveals the enormous effort you make to appear strong. He recognizes this effort and does not judge. Instead, he positions himself beside you, allowing your body to find temporary shelter in his feline warmth. He tries to restore your balance, even if only for a few seconds of comfort. There are moments when your gaze loses its natural brightness, and before you try to hide what you feel, he has already read it all. He senses the subtle oscillation in your smile, the one that fools others but not a heart watching you with devotion. As he approaches, his feline body offers warmth, as if holding your emotions by the edge, preventing them from escaping completely. On certain days, the sound of your keys in the door reveals more than you'd like. He recognizes every variation, every hesitation in the gesture, and understands that your energy has shifted even before he sees your face. He moves forward not with urgency, but with presence, creating a space around you where life slows down. His small body tries to balance what has destabilized you. There is an almost imperceptible moment when the mask you wear to the world cracks. You might not even notice, but he does. He observes the way you release your breath, as if letting go of something you've held all day. He presses his body to yours, offering silence, and in that silence, he teaches you that there is a kind of care that doesn't need words to work. He recognizes fatigue in the way you walk through the house. Even if you try to act naturally, your steps betray accumulated weariness. He approaches slowly, as if understanding the delicacy the moment requires. His approaches do not demand attention. They simply offer companionship. With a simple touch, he rearranges what the world has disrupted. There is something in your morning routine that reveals when you've slept poorly. Even before you speak, he detects that subtle haze around your mood. He appears by your side, almost always in silence, offering his presence as the first anchor of the day. What he provides is not a solution, but stability, as if to say you don't need to start alone. A tension almost invisible arises in your body when something worries you, and he perceives it before you even acknowledge it. He notices the way your fingers move, how your gaze drops, and then he approaches, steady, as if he could hold the world so you can breathe better. He tries to redistribute your emotional weight simply by existing near you. He understands the moment your mind hides behind distractions. Even if you occupy yourself with screens, sounds, or tasks, there's always a signal that slips through. He approaches carefully, observing you as if holding a thread about to break. He does not demand your attention. He simply remains. His presence serves as a silent reminder that you are not alone. Sometimes, the way you place your feet on the floor reveals the enormous effort you make to appear strong. He recognizes this effort and does not judge. Instead, he positions himself beside you, allowing your body to find temporary shelter in his feline warmth. He tries to restore your balance, even if only for a few seconds of comfort. There are moments when your eyes seek a fixed point in the void, as if trying to hold on to avoid sinking completely. He senses this inner fall before you react. He approaches slowly, nestling beside you, creating a small refuge where your soul can rest. He does not try to understand your pain. He tries to help you breathe again. He can differentiate between serene silence and the kind that hides storms. Even when you try to appear in control, your gestures reveal otherwise. He rests his head on you, offering a presence that does not ask but supports. In that gentle contact, he tries to reorganize what inside you seems to have collapsed, returning at least part of your balance. There is a specific glow in you that changes when something hurts, an almost hidden reflection in your eyes. He finds this signal instantly, before any words appear. He curls up beside you, as if committed to holding your pain without fully understanding it. His loyalty demands no explanation, only the chance to stay. At certain times, your breathing loses its natural rhythm. He feels it before you notice. His energy aligns with yours, as if trying to follow you so you don't fall. He arrives slowly, offering support without intrusion, making it clear that his presence is home. With his small body, he tries to stabilize what inside you is trembling too much. He notices when your heart comes home heavy from the day, because even the way you move objects changes. He reads your movements as if they were a language of their own. Without waiting for an invitation, he lies near you, offering silent comfort, as if to say that here you can disarm your chest. He does not come to distract you, but to return you to yourself. There are days when your energy feels fragmented, scattered like pieces you don't know how to assemble. He notices this before anyone else, and upon seeing your vulnerability, he chooses to stay close. He does not demand intense connection. He offers consistency. He remains by your side as a fixed point until your spirit finds its way back. He distinguishes emotional fatigue from physical exhaustion with precision. He senses when you try to hide what you feel behind automatic routines. Instead of pressing, he simply approaches, with that calm patience only someone who knows you deeply possesses. He touches you as if saying it's okay to be tired, that you don't need to pretend for him. At certain moments, your gaze becomes distant, as if part of you has withdrawn too much. He notices this silent retreat, this attempt to protect yourself from the world. He approaches gently, touching you as if anchoring your soul to the present. He does not try to provide explanations. He tries to bring you back to what can still be safe. He senses when something steals your joy. He does not need to hear your voice to know. He reads it in the way you move your body, the different rhythm in every step. He arrives slowly, settling nearby, offering a kind of peace that requires no effort. With his presence, he nurtures what inside you has weakened until it begins to pulse again. There is a moment when you seem smaller than you really are, as if carrying more than you can bear. He perceives it instantly. He presses his warm body to yours, trying to dispel the sense of helplessness that follows you. He doesn't know the source of your pain, but he feels its strength and responds by giving everything he has. Companionship. He notices the slightest changes in your posture, sensing when your thoughts grow too heavy. He approaches as if wanting to anchor you in the here and now, preventing your mind from spiraling. His presence reminds you that there is something in the world that remains stable, even when everything inside you seems about to collapse. The feline notices nuances in you that cannot always be put into words. There are moments when he senses an internal change even before you admit it to yourself. A slow, almost shy blink serves as a silent warning that he is there, following every variation in your energy, every emotional fold forming before you realize something has changed. This complicity is born from a bond you have built without haste, based on small rituals the world rarely notices. There is also the way he approaches when your thoughts are too loud. No matter how much effort you make to seem fine, the cat reads the truth in your tense shoulders, in the uneven rhythm of your breath, in the unusually long silence. He approaches without asking, without demanding, simply with a presence that fills what was missing. For him, that is enough, being near when your soul needs a pause. Some of your expressions guide him like secret signals. A raised eyebrow, an almost imperceptible frown, a gesture you didn't even notice. For the cat, all of this forms an emotional map he follows with instinctive precision. He understands that there are days you need space and others when the gentle touch of his head against your leg keeps your heart steady. He deciphers you as if recognizing an old path in the dark. There is also that serene vigilance he practices when you sleep. The cat listens to your movements, monitors your breathing, notices when a dream weighs heavier than it should. On nights when rest is hard to find, he shifts position, brings his body closer, adjusts his posture so you feel an anchor by your side. It is not protection in the human sense. It is something more silent, ancient, almost ritualistic. At times, he tries to alert you to emotions you have not yet acknowledged. A slight restlessness, a change in the environment, a thought you tried to ignore, he perceives it. Cats have a finely tuned perception of subtle vibrations, and therefore they can anticipate not full emotions, but small waves that precede a change. When he watches you with unusual attention, perhaps he is simply trying to prepare you for what your own heart has yet to admit. Some of your gestures he keeps as promises. The way you arrange the space where he sleeps, the care with fresh water, the slow affection you give, all of this becomes signs of safety for him. The cat reads these details as if interpreting whole sentences. He knows that despite the chaos around, there is a place where routine does not hurt, where affection needs no explanation. From this understanding grows the trust he rarely gives to anyone. The feline also senses the invisible weight of your silences. Not the peaceful ones, but those carrying unfinished stories, stored worries, fears you prefer not to name. He sits by your side in these moments, not to extract answers, but to offer presence. The cat understands that humans sometimes only need company, not solutions. And so he stays still and attentive until your chest finds relief for a few moments. There are days when he sees light in you even when you cannot. Perhaps it's in the way you call his name, or how your eyes soften as he approaches. He responds to this small spark with unexpected affection, a deep purr, a slow approach. For the cat, these gestures are invitations to restore what the world has worn away in you, and he accepts without hesitation. There are looks he gives only when he senses your inner world is unsettled. It is not curiosity. It is instinctive perception. The cat recognizes the misalignment born in your thoughts even before your expression gives anything away. He tilts his head, fixes his gaze on yours, trying to understand what kind of silence envelops you. This gesture is almost like a hug that does not touch, but anchors. Sometimes he approaches in light steps on days when the air feels heavy around you. There is something in the way the feline walks to you that reveals he senses your shadows, even those you hide from yourself. He curls up slowly, brushing your skin as if awakening a thread of light where before there was only fatigue. In these moments, he does not seek affection. He offers it. At times, your cat rests near you in a seemingly strategic way. He senses the vibration of your emotions in the way you breathe, and when something is misaligned, he changes position to be closer to your chest, as if he understands that the center of your unrest lies there. And in this silent approach, he lends a calm that cannot be explained, only felt. There is a type of presence he assumes when you return from a difficult day. It doesn't matter if you try to smile or act normal. He sees beyond the gesture. The cat rests his head on your leg, drags his body slowly, as if collecting each piece of you that the world scattered. He becomes a kind of harbor where you can finally remove your armor. A different kind of glow appears in his eyes when he notices you are discouraged. It's almost as if he's trying to measure the size of your sadness. He does not remove it or try to solve it. Cats do not do that, but they stay. They remain by your side, quiet, steady, as if they know that presence is the purest form of healing. The cat understands the value of shared silence. There are moments when he lies on your chest to regulate your internal rhythm. It's not by chance. Cats sniff out subtle changes in your body, and when they notice something is off balance, they settle there, heavy and warm, until your breathing finds a possible path again. Your heartbeat aligns with his, and somehow this calms you like nothing else can. Some of your expressions awaken in him a protective instinct you may have never noticed. A different sigh, a lost look, a hand hesitating before resting on something signals you barely notice. For him, they are silent calls. He approaches slowly, examines you with calm eyes, and offers companionship as if delivering an answer. There is a deep affection hidden in the way he follows you around the house. It is not neediness. It is constant observation. The cat notices when your energy changes as you touch objects, set the table, or sit down suddenly without reason. He analyzes every gesture to understand if your soul is light or heavy. And even when you pretend to be normal, he sees the truth effortlessly. Sometimes he watches you sleep as if guarding an emotional territory. The cat pays attention to your breathing rhythm, the movements you make while dreaming, the involuntary murmurs that escape when something bothers you. He aligns his body close, almost in parallel with yours, and remains like this until your restlessness diminishes. For him, this is part of the bond. There are times when the cat recognizes your joy too, and it captivates him deeply. He senses when your laughter comes from a genuine place, not obligation. In these moments, he approaches with rare enthusiasm, tail raised, eyes narrowing, body relaxed. He celebrates with you quietly, but genuinely, understanding that your light also affects him. He notices subtleties in your day that you don't even perceive. A longer sigh, hesitation before leaving the house, the way you touch objects. Every gesture is analyzed, understood, recorded. He knows when something is out of place in your heart, even if nothing is visible. That attentive gaze is a silent reminder that you are never alone. Sometimes he approaches when you most need comfort, without command or invitation. He feels the invisible weight accumulating in you and instinctively decides to become your silent presence. The warmth of his feline body, the low purr, the paws touch, everything seems designed to calm an anxiety you didn't even know you were feeling. There is a type of connection that forms when he lies near your pillow. It is not mere companionship. It is communication without words. He detects the tension you carry, your breathing rhythm, the small tremors of your body. And by curling up, he conveys security, transmitting trust with each relaxed muscle, teaching the value of shared quiet. There is an emotional intelligence he demonstrates effortlessly. When he senses your tone of voice while speaking to someone or yourself, he adjusts his behavior. If he senses anger or impatience, he steps back or observes. If he perceives affection, he approaches, purrs, rubs against you. It is a silent but powerful empathy that enriches the relationship more than any human gesture could. There is an almost surgical attention to signs of discomfort. If you move hesitantly or murmur words of frustration, he understands. His body positions itself strategically, offering physical and emotional support. There are no words, but there is a full comprehension of the moment. It's as if he says, "I am here and I know exactly what you feel." There are moments when he observes the world through you. As you move through the house, he follows your movements with fixed, attentive eyes. Every turn of your step, every routine gesture, he interprets. It is not mere curiosity. It is learning about you, your needs, the patterns that define your day. He becomes a silent shadow who knows every detail of your life. Sometimes he reacts unexpectedly to subtle changes in your energy. A different scent on your clothes, a small delay in routine, something you didn't even notice. He adjusts his behavior, either approaching or keeping a strategic distance, seeking a balance between curiosity and respect. Feline observation goes far beyond the obvious, connecting instincts with human sensitivity. There is a delicacy in the way he touches you during moments of distress. A paw placed gently on your hand, or a head rub on your arm, conveys silent understanding. He seems to say he knows everything happening in your heart and is ready to offer companionship without demanding anything in return. A small gesture, yet full of meaning. Some nights he lies between you and the wall, like an invisible guardian. He senses silent insecurities, fears you keep hidden even from yourself, and positions himself strategically to protect. His constant purring functions as an emotional buffer, balancing the tension of the human body with feline stability. It is a presence that is felt, not explained. A nearly magical synchronicity arises in shared routine moments. Upon waking, making coffee, sitting to read or write, he adjusts his rhythm to yours. It is as if life is shared in a silent tempo, an invisible dance in which every one of your movements has a feline response. This harmony demonstrates a form of love that transcends words, connecting hearts deeply. He notices every subtle gesture, the tilt of your head, the distant gaze, the hand that hesitates before touching something. Every movement is recorded, interpreted, and responded to in its own way, as if he understands the full story behind each of your actions. His presence is discreet but intense, filled with sensitivity and silent understanding. Sometimes he curls up in your lap on days when anxiety weighs more. Without asking for permission, he offers comfort, transmitting calm through his relaxed body and constant purring. There are no words, yet there is a deep understanding that you need care, even if you don't realize it. He has a special way of approaching when you are distracted or worried. He seems to capture scattered thoughts and, with a simple head nuzzle or paw rub, brings you back to the present. It is as if he says, "I am here, paying attention, and you are not alone." There is a feline intuition that manifests when he senses changes in your mood. If you are sad or thoughtful, he avoids noise and sudden movements, staying close while respecting your space. The way he positions himself reveals a silent empathy, sensitive to the smallest signs of emotional discomfort. A near telepathic connection emerges on quiet mornings. As you stretch and prepare for the day, he adjusts his pace to follow yours, sitting nearby, observing every gesture, as if he understands your plans even before you carry them out. There are moments when he watches your facial expressions with almost obsessive attention. A discreet smile, a quick grimace, or a furrowed brow is noticed with precision, subtly influencing his behavior, as if decoding feelings you do not verbalize. Sometimes he reacts to smells you don't even notice. The aroma of coffee, someone else's perfume. The scent of rain on clothes brings subtle changes in his posture, ears, and tail, showing that he understands much more about your world than you imagine. There is a refined perception of your heart rate and breathing. He adjusts his posture and proximity according to your physical state, offering warmth and companionship in moments of fatigue or tension. Every touch is calculated, every movement thought out to balance your energy. There are days when he follows you silently around the house, observing every detail. It's not mere curiosity. It's a way of understanding habits, routines, and emotions. He builds an invisible map of your day, memorizing signals and patterns, ready to act according to your needs without any verbal instruction. A heightened awareness emerges with sudden changes. If your routine shifts, if you become quieter or speak less, he adjusts his presence, moving closer, offering attention, or keeping a strategic distance, demonstrating an emotional intelligence that impresses with its precision. He feels the warmth of your body and the air you breathe, and this guides his behavior. If he senses tension or nervousness, he approaches delicately. If he notices relaxation and joy, he lies down nearby or plays, complementing your emotional state. Every gesture of his is an extension of what you feel. He has a way of communicating love that goes beyond words, simply rubbing against you. Continuous purring, brushing his head on your body conveys a unique language, full of affection and trust. It is a silent but powerful expression, connecting deeply. Sometimes he notices small changes in the environment that you don't, but which affect your mood. An object out of place, a different shadow, a sudden noise. He adjusts his behavior, offering companionship or vigilance, protecting the space and the emotional energy you maintain. There is a special attention to your touch. If you pet him hesitantly or firmly, he reacts appropriately, seeking comfort, expressing pleasure, or communicating that he prefers a different intensity. Each interaction is a silent dialogue, full of nuance and precise responses. There are moments when he observes your exercise routine or physical movements, adjusting his energy to accompany or participate. He recognizes patterns, notices breathing and heart rate, and even moves in sync, as if sharing your vitality. A silent empathy emerges in response to signs of pain or discomfort. He notices tremors, changes in posture, altered breathing, and offers closeness, pressing his body or staying attentive, demonstrating care without the need for commands or explanation. He recognizes your inner voices and murmurs you make without realizing. A whisper of frustration, a silent laugh, or an audible thought is noticed and interpreted. and he adjusts his presence accordingly, almost as if participating in your mind without intruding. There are days when he positions himself between you and sources of noise or intense movement, like a silent protector. He instinctively understands when the environment could cause anxiety or discomfort, and his presence reduces tension, offering safety with simple body gestures. He adjusts his sleep and wake patterns to your daily rhythm, staying alert when you need company and withdrawing when he senses you seek introspection. This synchronization is subtle, but deeply connected to your emotional routine. There is a form of love that manifests in the simple act of staying close during everyday activities. He lies nearby, observes attentively, or follows your movements, showing that he understands the value of companionship and affection without words, only with constant presence. He senses when you are about to leave and reacts subtly, adjusting his behavior to follow your pace or offer silent comfort. Every gesture of yours is analyzed, each step understood as part of a routine he has already decoded, anticipating your actions without the need for speech. There are moments when he understands your anxiety even before you do. A deep sigh, restless hands, distant gaze, he approaches, leans in, purrs, conveying calm and presence, reminding you that there is no need to face what you feel alone. Sometimes he reacts to scents that mark your routine, like the smell of food, perfumes, or other places. Each fragrance is recorded, associated with moments, emotions, and habits, creating a sensory map that helps him understand your world in an astonishing way. He has a unique sensitivity to your mood changes. He adjusts proximity, contact intensity, and behavior, as if he can measure your emotional state and respond empathetically, offering support or play as you need it at that moment. A silent connection forms during introspective moments. While you think or reflect, he remains close, attentive, offering presence without intrusion, creating a serene companionship that only someone with a feline knows. He notices the impact of the words you do not say. A contained sigh, a look of frustration, or silent joy are understood and responded to with gentle gestures, like a head rub or curling up beside you, translating emotions into nonverbal communication. He pays special attention to the environment and its changes. Different sounds, altered lights, objects out of place, he notices, adjusts his behavior, and ensures the space remains safe, offering comfort and silent protection. There is a way he reads the human body that goes beyond what is visible. He interprets posture, breathing, facial expression, and even subtle changes in scent, translating everything into emotional understanding, demonstrating empathy that impresses with precision and subtlety. He adapts to your sleep and wake routine, adjusting his energy to be present at the most meaningful moments. It is as if he has an internal clock synchronized with yours, always ready to offer companionship, comfort, or play as the day unfolds. There are days when he observes silently your interactions with other people or animals, recording patterns, scents, and reactions. He learns, understands, and adjusts his behavior to maintain connection and closeness. Even if you don't notice this constant attention, he notices small changes in your body and health. A more tired look, altered breathing, different scent, everything is recorded, analyzed, and responded to delicately, showing an almost intuitive ability to care for you. He communicates affection and attention in surprising ways, following you around the house, lying nearby, rubbing his head, or purring continuously. Every gesture is a clear message of trust and love, translated in feline language. He has the capacity to perceive your emotions even when you try to hide them. Sadness, fear, joy, or fatigue are sensed and interpreted, and he responds appropriately, offering companionship, play, or rest, always according to your state. He understands your routines and nonverbal signals. The sound of keys, hurried steps, or specific gestures indicate you are about to leave, move, or rest, and he adjusts his behavior to accompany or comfort, demonstrating social and emotional intelligence. He maintains constant attention to your mood, habits, and health, offering presence, comfort, and companionship adapted to each situation. This connection goes beyond friendship. It is a deep emotional bond, built daily with sensitivity and silent love. He notices when something disturbs your balance, even before you realize it. A subtle change in your posture, a shift in your gaze, or a small pause in your movements tells him that something is off. He approaches gently, curling up beside you, offering a quiet refuge where your spirit can find stability. He differentiates between emotional fatigue and physical exhaustion with precision. He senses when you try to hide feelings behind automatic routines. Instead of pressing, he simply comes closer, with that patient calm that only someone who knows you deeply possesses. He touches you as if to say it's okay to be tired, that you don't need to pretend with him. The feline senses nuances in you that can't always be put into words. There are moments when he perceives an internal shift before you even admit it to yourself. A slow, almost shy blink works as a silent warning that he is there, following every variation of your energy, every emotional fold forming before you realize something has changed. This complicity arises from the bond you have built without rush, based on small rituals the world rarely notices. Some of your expressions guide him like secret signals. A lift of the eyebrows, an almost imperceptible frown, a gesture you didn't even notice. For the cat, all of this forms a kind of emotional map that he follows instinctively. He understands that there are days when you need space and others when the soft touch of his head against your leg is what keeps your heart steady. He deciphers you as someone who recognizes an old path in the dark. There are gestures of yours that he treasures like promises. The way you prepare the space where he sleeps, care for fresh water, the gentle affection given without rush, all of this becomes signals of safety for him. The cat reads these details as if interpreting entire sentences. He knows that, despite the chaos around, there is a place where routine does no harm, where affection requires no explanation. In this understanding, trust is born, rarely given to anyone else. There are days when he sees light in you even when you cannot. Perhaps it is in the way you call his name, or in the softening of your eyes when he approaches. He responds to that small spark with unexpected affection, a deep purr, a slow approach. For the cat, these gestures are invitations to restore what the world has worn down in you, and he accepts without hesitation. If you felt every gesture he makes, like this video, share it with fellow cat lovers, and tell us in the comments how your cat has surprised you with their attention and affection. Let's celebrate this unique bond together.